Hi, I'm Chelsea, and this is my channel, Sound Mind Stitching. I talk about cross stitch, embroidery, stuff going on in my life, mental health, and sometimes books. And today I'm definitely going to talk about books. But first, my haul. If you watched my last video, you know that I just had a birthday. I filmed number 5 right before my birthday. This is number 6, and it's April 1st. I should have said that at the beginning, but my birthday was a couple weeks ago, and I'm now 36, and I got a lot of stuff. Well, I bought a lot of stuff with birthday money. So the people who love me know that I love to pick up my own stuff, and I certainly love gifts that people choose for me, but I really enjoy picking up my own stuff. So my husband did pick out a gift for me. He acquired the help of my friend Sarah and bought me this gorgeous bag from Vera Bradley to keep my stitching stuff in when I am out and about or even at home. I kind of am using this as my personal office. I keep my planner in here, whatever I'm working on, extra supplies, my planner, my stitching planner, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. I love it, and it fits a lot, and I love the pattern. The rest of my birthday presents were money. So I got some books. So I'm going to show you this first. So the first thing I got was a sketchbook from Hobby Lobby. I really want to dabble in cross stitch design, and I have the software on my computer, but I realized, I figured out how to work the software, but I realized I really need to have like a really solid picture of what I want to make in my mind before I try to put it in a cross stitch thing. So one thing that I've been doing is kind of doodling just ideas. So for example, I'm wanting to make a teacher gift for my daughter's teachers. How well you can see that. I'm using my new computer, and I'm not sure how good the webcam is, but basically a circle. This would probably be more embroidery with her name and a little like stitch person. So I'm really enjoying using this. I've been sketching a lot along those lines because I'm actually not. I think I'm great at drawing. I bought a book called the Sketchbook Challenge by Molly Egan. This is a book that just has so many different like things you can draw. So it's got like, this is like reading a book at story time to my kids. It just gives you ideas to doodle and prompts and stuff just to kind of get you inspired. So I haven't done any of this yet, but I'm excited. Another thing. Okay, so on my actual birthday, I had to go to Savannah, and we live about 30 minutes from Savannah. So I had to go down there to pick up my son's iPad, which was needed to be repaired, and there's a shop down there. There's a Barnes and Noble, and we moved here 2 years ago, and we moved here from Columbia, South Carolina, and we lived like 5 minutes from a Barnes and Noble, and I just love walking around a Barnes and Noble, and there was one at the mall where this repair thing was. So I browsed and found, well, that's where I got that sketchbook challenge book, and then I also got this book, Embroidery, a step-by-step guide to more than 200 stitches. You can learn how to embroider on YouTube. You can find every single stitch online. I've bought like a thing on Etsy that shows all the stitches, but I realized like I just wanted a book. I want to be able to flip it open, and it has like all of these different, it shows you pictures of like every kind of embroidery stitch. 200. I doubt I'll ever do all those. And what page it's on. And then there's like directions for how to do each stitch. So I also haven't done much with this, but I'm excited to. And then at the thrift store for $1.99, I found this book called Doodle Stitching, the Motif Collection. It was published by Clarke Books, which is not making things anymore. I Googled it. But this one has, I'm not going to show you necessarily, but it just has all these little motifs you can do for baby, celebrations, circus, just like different flowers, farm animals, so many flowers, food, vegetables, garden, space. I think this would be really cool to do for like a little gift or an ornament or something. You could totally embroider some stuff. So this is really old. It says it once included a CD, which is not in here, which is fine because my computer doesn't even have a CD drive. But that was a cool book to get. I'm looking at my list of what else I got. So at Hobby Lobby, I got this little needle book. I don't know if I'm putting my needles in it right. So please tell me if I'm not. Sarah also got one, and we're just not sure. I'm putting them in like this, over here. I don't know what's supposed to go up here, or if anything. I thought maybe you're supposed to put the needles through here, but it was impossible. So anyway, that's been super handy, and I've loved having this. It was maybe $2.99 at Hobby Lobby. Another Hobby Lobby finder, these tiny little snips. They're like $1.99. There's a little thing you can put it on your. I've been putting it on the ring with my floss tags. It has a little. There's like spring loaded. These are not great for like frogging because they're a little thick at the end, but they're perfect for cutting threads. And I'm going to be traveling next week, which I'll share in a minute. More about that on an airplane, which I haven't done in. Let's see. The last time I was on an airplane was in 2018. Is that right? Yeah, 2018. I flew to Texas to see my friend. So I think these are going to be okay to take. I'm going to find out. I think this will be good for the plane. Let's see. Scissors, needlebook. Okay, so I also got this on Amazon. It's just a little planner. I'm using this to kind of plan out what I want to stitch. I have not done April yet. It's just months. There's no days. It's pretty small, but it was $2 or something, and it goes until 2024. So that felt worth it. I'll show you how I'm using it once I actually use it. Another purchase was Snow Queen. This is glare. It's going to be bad. Snow Queen's Ice Cream Parlor. This is from Country Cottage Needleworks, a new pattern, part of Nutcracker Village. This is the 5th pattern. There's going to be 11. I haven't even finished the first one, but got this one for when it's time. Finally, this isn't. Oh wait. So Coastal Holiday. I think I shared about this. I know I shared about it. I think I shared it. It's hands-on design, Coastal Holiday. It's 3 ornaments in a box. And I had this fabric that I kind of thought was linen. It was impossible to stitch on, and I hated it, and I did not want to do it. So the last time I visited my friend Sarah, she has tons of fabric and lots of linen. And so I kind of I brought my floss with me because I already had the floss. And I took it with me and kind of figured out what might look good. So this is 32 count. What's the point? I don't know. 32 count lamb's wool linen by Witchelt. I'm going to do all the parts of it on there and then cut them. So I'll probably stitch them all first just to keep it from fraying at the edges and then do it. And then my final isn't really haul because I didn't buy it, but my friend Alexis for my birthday, I had told her, like, if you ever see cool cross stitch at a thrift store, please, like, pick it up. So she actually, for my birthday, sent me this that she found at a cross stitch or at a thrift store. It says Truth and Honor. It's like canvas. It's not like Aida or linen, but the stitches are huge. Look how big they are. It might be like 4 strands, maybe even 6. Maybe 3 or 4. Anyway, I thought it was super cool, and I Googled it and found, like, I think it was done in the 70s. Actually, there were some words on the back. It looks like, there's a date on the back. It actually says 1973 over here. So I just think that's super cool. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I thought it was cool. And then I didn't ask her to buy this, but she did send me this little guy. It says, sometimes when it is windy, I fly my kite up high. So the angel, it's really hard to read sideways. So the angels won't be lonely when they go flying by. I showed this to my husband and he's a pastor. He was like, is that how it works? Like, I don't think so. But this did make me laugh. It's a cute bear. It has, 85, maybe it was stitched. So this is older than I am. Anyway, it was fun to get that in the mail. So that is my haul. Now on to FFOs, finishes, starts, a partial UFO, and my whips. And then I will be talking about something new I've been working on. So my first is my FFO, and this is my first FFO since the thing I made for my mom. Yeah, because this was my first finish of 2021, which I finished before I started my Flosstube. But this is Plants on Shelves by, let's see, what's the better way to do the grip? Nope, not that way. Here we go. Plants on Shelves by Playbook Patterns, which she's on Instagram, and that might be her website too. I'll put the link in. She has a Christmas one, which I've also finished, but I haven't put it in the frame. I have the same frame, and I've got this now hanging in our downstairs bathroom, which kind of has a plant theme going. I want to paint the bathroom eventually, but now this is in there and I just love it. I love walking in the bathroom and going to the bathroom and seeing this on the wall. Finishing it was a nightmare because I really didn't know what I was doing, but next time I think it'll go a little better. I just love the colors. It's pretty muted. This was a fun stitch. I did like a pot a day for January and finished it that month. That was my FFO. Now for my finish. This is a big one. I've been working on this. I worked on it for about 2.5 months. This is the finish for my daughter for her birthday. And I said I would finish it by April, and I did. Here it is. It is Santa's House by Tiny Modernist. Here it is. Look at that. It's finished. I stitched this on 14 count Aida. The color is Toast. I used pretty much, it called for DMC. I used pretty much all the called for DMC, but one of them I switched a little bit. And another thing I did differently is it called for so much back stitching, like so much. And I did not want to do it, and so I didn't. I'll kind of fold it so I can show you. Like, for example, it called for back stitching like all along this, all the snow, all like here, this was like scalloped, all down here. I did do like the snowman, and I did, of course, like the faces. I did the lights. I felt like those needed it. On this side, you can see there's like a toy shelf. So I did do the back stitching on those and on the little stuff in the kitchen. And I did the reindeer, whatever, ropes, reins. But I didn't do all of it, and I'm still really happy with how it turned out. I did find a piece of unfinished wood at Hobby Lobby, and I think that's how I'm going to finish it, but I need to wash this and I need to iron it, and maybe paint the thing. I'm going to ask my daughter what color. It probably won't match very well, but that's okay. Her birthday's in just a couple weeks, so I need to finish that up. Hopefully in my next video, I'll have a fully finished object with that. So my starts. So my first start, this one is a little bit, I don't know what you're going to think. I shared, and actually it's one of my whips, but Northern Land by Al Forrest Embroidery. So Al Forrest Embroidery is a Russian designer, and she gives out a lot of free patterns on her website. And I have downloaded almost all of them to potentially do. She recently put one out that I think it was just called Easter baskets. I'll pop a picture up. The model is like, they're turned into little ornaments on like a little tree, and that's not really my vibe. But I love the Easter baskets, and I was trying to think of something I could do to put in our house. And so, again, my husband's a pastor. I'm a Christian, and Easter is an important holiday. And so I thought, man, it'd be cool to have something to kind of be an Easter thing. And I think, well, the stuff in Ukraine started happening in February, right? So this, I didn't start working on this until the middle of March, but I basically picked out some fabric that I already had. It's this light blue Aida that I got on like Amazon. I picked out 6, let's show you. There's no model to show you. This is just me. And I'm going to explain the words, just hang tight. I picked out 6 of the baskets, and all of them look different. Like all of them have different color flowers. So I took out the two that had blue in it, since my fabric was blue. The ones that are remaining are like yellow, pink, purple, and white. And then also the free chart came with a Cyrillic alphabet, and that's what Russian uses, the Cyrillic alphabet, but so does Ukrainian. So I studied Russian in college, and I don't remember a lot of it. I'm doing Duolingo, but anyway, I had to Google it because Ukrainian, again, also uses Cyrillic. So I wanted it to say something with Easter. I was trying to think of something short. So what I came up with was Christ is risen. And I wanted to put it on here in Ukrainian. And I'm probably going to put the date, like 2022 at some point. But that's what these white words say. This is like Christ. This is risen. If you want to pronounce it, it's Christos voskres. Actually, Christos voskres. Accents at the end. And these words gave me a lot of trouble. I actually spelled this wrong, which was embarrassing, but I did fix it because that would have been bad. What if someone who spoke Ukrainian came to our house? That would not be cool. So it's a little different, but I think it'll be a great conversation piece. I think the colors will be really pretty in the spring to put it downstairs. So as you could see, I've finished all the baskets and I have started the leaves on this one flower, but I'm hoping to finish this in the next few weeks. It's not very hard. My next new start, this is related to my upcoming travel. My husband and I have been married for 13, almost 13 years. And we thought we'd go on a trip on our 10th anniversary. And then we couldn't go that year. We're like, oh, it's fine. This is in 2019, we celebrated 10 years. So we thought maybe next year. And then I got pregnant and then it was 2020. So we did not go on a trip in 2020. Last year was 11 years. Wait, no. 2020 was 11 years. Last year was 12 years. 2021. We had a 1-year-old. We'd only been here a year. COVID was, it was still not great. So we did not go anywhere last year. So we decided, okay, we're setting aside money. Sorry, my watch keeps going off. We're setting aside money and we're going to go. So next week we're going to Washington, D.C. Just the two of us for 6 days and 5 nights. Just the two of us. We're flying on an airplane and we're going to stay somewhere with no children. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to go to museums. We're going to sleep in. We're going to eat good food. So I was just browsing Etsy and saw this pattern called Washington, D.C. And I had some of these saved as like favorites. So this is the one I found. I just thought the colors are really fun and it's round, which is kind of different. I don't have anything round. And whoops, there's a Tartt. So I've got this little car. I started in the middle and I'm going to talk about these needle minders. I just think the colors are fun. This is a really easy stitch. This is 18 count Ivory Ada from Hobby Lobby. And again, it'll be kind of round when I'm done. So here's the floss. I just pulled this from my stash. It calls for DMC and something Cosmo, maybe. But I just pulled DMC from my stash and looked for substitutes. And really didn't have to buy. I bought maybe 3 or 4 colors that I didn't have. So I'm excited about that one. And then my final new start is Under the Sea. I'm doing this. This is a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Stitch Along. The first part has been released, and I don't know if you can still sign up now that they've already released it. I know they're going to release everything at the end. So right now, they've just released the first part. And this is a little embarrassing because I haven't gotten very far. But it's like a mermaid and 2 dolphins. And whoops, my needle minders. Here's what I've got. You can hardly see it. A little tiny dolphin fin. This is 32 count Belfast linen. Might not be Belfast. It's Nessie by Picture This Plus. This is my very first hand-dyed fabric that I've ever bought. I've never stitched on anything, and I like it. It's blue. It kind of looks oceany. Here is all the floss They're really, really cool colors. All these pinks. I think they're really going to pop um, on that blue fabric. You can kind of see. These are going to be so pretty on that. And my friend Sarah is doing that one as well. So she's already finished the first part. She's an overachiever. And I've been really busy. I just haven't had time. So those are my new starts, 3 new starts. And I have it was going to be a whip. Now it's going to be a UFO, but I'm going to restart it. So this is the pattern that Sarah gave me for my birthday, tulips in a pot. Here's the model. I don't know. I was trying to hurry up and finish this, and in doing so, I made a bunch of errors, and I made so many that I'm just going to start over. Sarah had more fabric, so she's going to bring me some more fabric. And I'm just going to start over. I feel sad because I wanted to finish it in March, but I didn't because it's April 1st. But I really like it. It's really little and cute, and she gave me a little frame to put it in, so that should hopefully be an April finish. Other than those new starts and finish, I have 3 more whips. So my first one, here's the warning to Christian to stop watching. This is In the Garden by Stitcherovia. I don't think I said who did all those. Oh, Washington, D.C. That was Awesome Pattern Studios. Yeah, this is In the Garden by Stitcherovia or Emma Congdon, depending on how you know her. I am stitching this on 14 count Aida. The color is called Dirty. I got it from Cross Stitching Supplies. You can see I've got a good bit done. Last month I had the watering can. This month I've done the clouds, the rain cloud, the rain, the drops, and the water. I actually did the water twice because I messed up the spout on the watering can and the water was in the wrong place. You'll remember that. But I've redone the water. I've done the clouds, and then I did the little hand rake and trowel. Sorry, there's a thread on there. Okay. And the little ladybug. And then, oh, I'm so glad I remembered this. What is this, guys? Is it like a little seed with a sprout? I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. This is all of it. I did it all. This is the whole little thing. I don't know what it is. And look, I'm going to tell you how I made these in a minute. But there's my little snail needle minder. How cute is that? I think it's so funny that I have a snail needle minder on here. Simple pleasures, guys. Yeah. So again, that's for my husband for his birthday in July. I did actually a little more than my goal for this month. I did the little shovel and I hadn't planned to do that. So that was good. That I don't think will be any problem. It's a really easy stitch too. It's good to kind of fill in, and there's not a ton of color changes, but enough to keep it interesting. Another whip that I worked on this month or these last few weeks was Northern Land by Owl Forest Embroidery. I haven't done very much, so I'm going to kind of fold the fabric so I can hold it up better. This was my birthday start, which I started before my birthday. So this is how far I've got. I changed the colors, but I'm only doing 3 colors. It's all gentle art. I had a lighter gray that would be going here, but I didn't love it, so I ordered a different color. Colors that I'm using. So I'm using Summer Shower. All of these are gentle art. Summer Shower, which is like a light blue. Deep Sea, which is this kind of turquoisey blue. And then I was using Glass Slipper, or had planned to, but I've changed it. And now I'm using Cast Iron Skillet. And you can almost see it even though this camera is not great. The variegation on this is insane. It's like dark gray to black to a little bit lighter gray. It's amazing. And I wasn't sure, but I love it. My desk in my room is light blue and black, and so I really think it's going to go well in my room. And I'm really, really happy with it. I do still have the Glass Slipper on here, and I may use it. I may use it for a 4th color. But again, that's Northern Land. This is not easy. Oh, and I'm stitching this on antique white Lugana, 25 count. No, 32 count. Sorry, I confused it with something else. 32 count antique white Lugana. I'm really, really enjoying this one. If I have good light, I can do it while I watch a show with my husband, so that's good. My final whip is Nutcracker Village. I finally pulled this out again. I only worked on this 2 times this month, but I pulled it out last night after I gave up on the tulips to finish out March. So I've got this in my giant Q snap. So this one I'm using, this is 32 count Belfast linen in raw silver. I'm using, it calls for Classic Colorworks, but I'm using some Classic Colorworks and some DMC. So like for the bigger things like the trees, I am using the overdyed, but for some of the stuff, I'm just using the DMC because it isn't going to make a big difference. So the houses will be really cool with the overdyed, I think. So you probably noticed, let's see, some of my needle minders. I made these guys. I bought a set of stitch counters or something, like stitch markers at Hobby Lobby. There were 6 of them for $6 or $5. And I used our Dremel tool that my husband uses for various garden things and took off, there was like a little hook. I don't even know what it's for because I don't know anything about knitting. That's where I got it, in the knitting section. And it didn't have anything on the back. So I basically used the Dremel tool to get the little hook off, and then I glued a magnet to the back and made 6 of these. I have this elephant. You saw the snail. Here's the turtle. Here's the hedgehog. There's 6 of them, but I don't know. Oh, there's the llama. And I got so excited that then I went to the thrift store and bought a bunch of other things that I'm hoping I can maybe turn into needle minders. Like this, look, it's a little pin. It's like a little garden cart. It has this on the back, but I can just use the Dremel to get it off and put a magnet. Oops. I also got these at Hobby Lobby. These are wood. And I want to try to see if I can get these clothespins off the back and then turn these into needle minders. I think they would be cute. This was Sarah's idea. Some of the other things. Another garden cart. This is kind of big, but it's not very heavy. It's like a little golden Noah's Ark. I'm thinking I could paint it and then, again, put the magnet on the back. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start selling these if... Oh, this one. Look at this. I can totally get this part off. This actually is already a magnet, but it's really heavy. So I want to make it lighter and then add a flat magnet to the back. Anyway, I think those are pretty cool. So, Stitchy Talk. I am doing Mania, and I've seen like different people do Mania in different ways, but my plan for Mania is to start something new try to work on something different every day if possible. I don't have that many things, so I'm going to do as many new starts as I can. And so I have my spreadsheet, and in my spreadsheet, I have all kinds of, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it. Okay, there we go. In my spreadsheet, I have a plan for what I'm going to do. So right now I have something like 23 different things to start. Now that includes starting a little bit on each of Nutcracker Village, but only completing one of them. Also those Christmas ornaments, the Coastal Holiday, I'm counting each of those as one day. So I'll start each one on a different day. I also kitted up a bunch of free patterns that I got. I'll show them to you as I get to them. I guess I'll show them to you in May. But I have some Alforce embroidery charts that I got for free. I have some Jardin Privé, I think is how you pronounce it. Seasonal trees, and also a Christmas one that I'm going to do. I have some gifts for my boys that I need to start. And then a couple Christmas patterns, a flower pattern, I think for my mother-in-law, the chickens. I want to start all of those. I've got all those kitted up in those, these awesome project bags from Amazon. I'm ready to go. And I'm really excited. I think that'll be really fun. And in the process of kitting those up, I decided to categorize my WIPs, and that has been really, really helpful in, I don't know, just kind of feeling like I'm somewhat organized. So I have different color bags. These come in like 5 different colors. So blue is for whatever. They're not seasonal. It's not, there's no rush. It's just whenever you feel like it. Yellow are for ones that I would consider seasonal in like the spring and summer. So obviously I can do Under the Sea whenever I want. And I'm going to be doing it in the fall and winter because the parts haven't come out yet. But for right now, this is like a seasonal pattern. Red is like urgent. This is not our privilege. Red is like, this is for a gift. It's somewhat time sensitive. Okay, I don't have the green. There's also green and black. So green is Christmas or winter, and black is like fall or Halloween, or I might have mixed those up. I can't remember. But now I have a drawer in my desk and I've got all my things that I'm not working on in there by color, so I can file through and find things. And then I have those baskets in my room that I showed in video 4. I've got 3, and so every day or every week, whenever I feel like switching it, I can change up what's in those 3 baskets. So I usually am picking something from each color. I'm picking something seasonal, something that is kind of time sensitive, and something for fun. And then every day I kind of can look and be like, man, which of these 3 do I want to work on? And that's been really helpful in kind of mixing it up, but also not like being paralyzed with decision making. So I am going to say really quick that I'm going to keep talking, but in just a minute, our robot vacuum is going to start its job. So just that's what it's going to be like in 2 minutes. I decided to sit downstairs because one of my kids is still awake, and I have the whole dining room table, and it's more room for all my stuff. So what I wanted to talk about was big projects versus small projects. I realized a few weeks ago that I'm approaching my stitching in the same way that I'm approaching my reading. And I love to read. I haven't been reading as much because I've been stitching, but I have still been listening to audiobooks. And I'm finding listening to an epic fiction book to be, while stitching, to just be a fabulous way to spend time. Last Sunday, we've had a difficult couple of weeks. Just some issues going on. My husband's responsibilities at work have increased. Our kids have been really busy. I've had a lot of work. It's been pretty stressful. And so I just needed to like completely decompress. So I took my audiobook outside during the afternoon when our toddler was napping and listened to a brand new audiobook and stitched for like 2 straight hours. And it was the best self-care that I could think of. The weather was beautiful and it was a good book. And it's really long. And I was thinking like, man, I just love long books. So if you don't like to read, you can skip the rest of this video. But if you think you might be interested, I'm going to show you, let's see, there's going to be, okay, it's going to be 10. That's perfect. 10 is a good round number. The first one is the book I'm reading right now, which I'm not done with, but I already love and I'm happy to recommend it. It's called Deep River by Karl Malantes. I never heard of this writer. This is, I think, only his 2nd book, but it is these are all going to be fiction. It's kind of historical fiction. Oh, did you see the vacuum scare me? I told you guys to watch out for it, and it scared me. I'm not going to take that off because that was really funny. We just got it. I'm not used to it yet. Okay. I hope that's, it feels like that's going to be loud, doesn't it? Okay, sorry. So yeah, that wasn't going to work. That was way too loud. I'm not going to leave that on while I'm finishing up. So anyway, the first book, Deep River by Karl Malantes. I'm going to put up a picture of the cover and how many pages it is, so you will understand my addiction to long books. This book is so good. I'm really enjoying it. It's about a period of history, like right at the turn of the century, beginning of the 20th century. in the Pacific Northwest, Finnish immigrants. There's logging and inheritances and socialism, and it's just really, really interesting. That has been really good. Another favorite book, number 2, The Stand by Stephen King. This is I've read this book at least twice. I really enjoy Stephen King. I know it's not for everybody, but this book has everything that I love. Catastrophic events. There's a huge plague. Post-apocalyptic, of course, because a lot of people die. It's long. It has a lot of pages and great characters. It travels like the whole. It's one of those books where there's actually, as I think about it, several of these books are like this. All these different characters meeting up eventually, and it's very long and it's so good. My third recommendation is Wizard and Glass by Stephen King. It's part of a series called The Dark Tower. There's 7 books and it's book 4. It's kind of a flashback book. Some of the characters in it are in the book series already. But it's kind of explaining what happened before. I don't know how well it would stand alone, but you could try it. Again, a very long book. Another favorite I read several years ago, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's a book about, it feels like realistic, but also there's magic. So it's just so well written. It's hilarious, like laugh out loud funny. Also extremely long. Number 4, nope, that was number 4. Number 5, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. That book is very long also. Again, sensing a theme. This was the first audiobook I listened to many years ago when I got back into audiobooks. I listened to it while I was holding my now almost 5-year-old in a dark room because she was very fussy all the time and I couldn't read. So I just had my headphones and Anna Karenina, and that's how we got through the summer. It takes place in Russia. It's an older book, but just really, really interesting. There's a lot of like philosophy stuff, which isn't my favorite, but it's a really, really great book. Another long book, number 6, is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. This is a Western. I read really, really broadly. I don't even know what compelled me to pick this up, but I did, and I listened to it. I do have a hard copy, and I kind of want to read it again. That might be my summer project, but I like the audiobooks because I can stitch. Another one with tons of characters, epic saga, hilarious writing. Roots by Alex Haley. It is a book about it starts kind of with one man who is from Africa and is taken into slavery. Alex Haley is the author, and there's been a lot of controversy because I think he originally claimed that this was like, he did all this research and like, this was kind of his interpretation of his own history, but Alex Haley is white, and certainly there are white people who have people of color as their ancestors, but somebody else kind of checked into it, and it seems like he might have kind of made up the part that he said he researched. So don't read it because it's like based on a true story. You can just read it as an account of what slavery was like for millions of people, because it is brutal and heartbreaking and just an extremely well told story that follows kind of the family, like this one man who's a slave and then his descendants. I listened to this one when we first moved here 2 years ago, and I still remember like nursing our now 2-year-old and having my headphones in and putting him down for naps. That's what I think of my bedroom. Another more modern book, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This was made into a movie, which I haven't seen and didn't look good, but the book is really good, but some people hate it. So take it or leave it. I don't know if you like it or not. The Passage. This is a series of 3 books by Justin Cronin, and it is kind of sci-fi, post-apocalyptic. Again, I really love post-apocalyptic books if they're well written. The Passage is about a bunch of different characters. Again, they kind of eventually meet up, but they're all in different places at the beginning. The bad thing in it, they're kind of like vampires, but not Twilight vampires. They're like scary, fast, alien-y. They're like, I forget exactly where they come from. I don't want to spoil anything, but they're almost like mutant vampires. You don't really see them. You don't really know what they look like. It's very kind of mysterious, but super great read. Super, like, you just want to keep going and find out what happens. And my final recommendation is the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. Pierce Brown is these books, I think there are 5 now, and they're sci-fi kind of, but very much, I heard someone describe them as like Hunger Games for grown-ups, which plenty of grown-ups like the Hunger Games, but these books are a little bit more intense. There's a little bit more death. But they are just so good. So many different characters, so many things to love. There's 5 books, and I've read all of them. I read the first 3 twice because there was a big gap before the 4th one, so I reread the first 3. My husband has also read them and really, really enjoys them, and I would recommend these to any guy who is maybe hesitant for reading because, I mean, not to be stereotypical, but it's great writing, which is not always the case. There are many bad books out there. But they're just so interesting. So anyway, those are my 10 great fiction recommendations to listen to while stitching. I'd love to hear yours if you've read something good, even if you weren't stitching, but you think it would be a good choice. You can put them in the comments and maybe someone will find a new favorite book. But I say all that to say, I like long books and I think I like big cross-stitch projects. So many of the ones I'm working on are so big, and that's why I'm kind of enjoying those Easter baskets. Even this little tulip guy, this has been really appealing, even though I have these enormous projects. So I'm trying to be careful when I have a moratorium right now. I am not starting anything new, maybe this year. That feels a little bit extreme to say, but I think I might need to say it. I have so many things to work on. If I look at my spreadsheet where I keep track, let me look. Let's see. I have 22 whips or kitted projects, and some of them that is like a bunch of them are bunched together. So Coastal Holiday is counted as one in that. So if you add in each of the Nutcracker Village pieces and each of the Coastal Holidays and these other trees that I'm going to do, it's over 30. And that's plenty to work on. I joked to my husband. I showed him the Washington, D.C. thing, and I said, yeah, I'm going to do this in honor of our trip. And I said, I got it because I don't have anything else to work on. And he was like, really? You don't have anything else to work on? And anyway, he usually gets my sarcasm 99% of the time, but someone did ask a question, I think on my last video, well, I can't remember, about my spreadsheet. And I was going to talk about that, but this is already longer than any of my other videos. So I'm not going to do that today. But the next few weeks are going to be pretty busy. We're going to DC. It's Easter. My kids have spring break. Hopefully I'll be able to do a screen record of my spreadsheet and kind of explain what I'm doing. That would be helpful, I think, for some of you who might want to see that. Somebody asked, they just couldn't see all the categories, so I can explain how I did it. I hope I'm able to work on stuff, but I just don't know what it's going to be like. So anyway, that's all I've got, and I am thankful for this community. I'm thankful for the other Flosstubers. I wanted to get this video out earlier this week, but I had to get a new computer, and it came, and the screen was cracked, and I had to send it back. And then I had to wait for a replacement to come, which is what I'm recording this on. And I don't know if I'm going to keep recording on the webcam. It's better than my old one, but I don't know if it's great. So I may get a separate webcam or use my phone again, but I thought I would just try it. I'm glad there's no rules on Flosstube. So this is later than I wanted. I wanted it to be like the very end of March. But I like Flosstube because there's no rules. You can do whatever works. So I'll put links to all of the patterns that I mentioned in the description, as well as the list of books. I am on Goodreads. It's chelseakcrouch@gmail.com, maybe. And you can see all the books I'm reading. You can see the books I've read. If you leave a comment, I'm happy to talk about books. I love talking about books. So again, listening to a book while cross-stitching is just the best thing I can think of. But yeah, that's all I've got. I hope that you are doing well, that you are staying safe and healthy, that the weather is warmer if you're in the northern hemisphere, that it's starting to warm up. And I hope that you are able to stitch what you want and you're able to enjoy it. And it is something that brings you a measure of happiness and peace in what often feels like a really crazy world. I know that stitching for me has been a really helpful way to kind of ground myself these last few weeks. So I hope it does the same for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.